Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm EG and this is a Wednesday Reads book review. So this week I read A Ritual of Bone by C Conley, and it was a very interesting book. So this book I discussed with him in his interview, which I will link in the description below, and he talked about sort of how it came together, and I think that actually helped me reading this book. So it is a fantasy sort of, I don't want to say zombie apocalypse because it's not actually, but it is sort of zombie apocalypse set in an alternate world. Technology is sort of Viking age and very much similar culture. What happens is that this college accidentally, I think it was accidental, I'm not entirely sure actually, woke the dead, and shenanigans ensue. Basically, the dead are coming back, and if you get bitten by the dead or wounded, and then this sort of bestial disease transfers to you, and you become kind of mindless, and everything that you're working for is more animalistic. You're looking for food, which happens to be human flesh, and you're looking for a pack or a mate or whatever, and basically all the traces of your humanity are gone, and this is a huge problem for obvious reasons. So this book sort of jumps between a few different characters. There's this nameless apprentice with the college who broke his leg as he was running from a shadow, which may or may not have been the dead, we're not entirely sure, and he then sort of witnessed this and is sort of involved in this bone ritual, and he is then sent back to the college. And then we go and meet Bjorn, who is a hunter sent to go and hunt this terrible beast in sort of savage lands, or I guess borderlands. I'm not entirely sure where it is because I am geographically challenged. Yes, I need maps all the time. Anyways, so he's sent to go hunt this beast, and he comes across these savages who are cannibals, and so he has to escape, and he has to then figure out what the heck is going on with these people. And then we have the lords who are sort of watching the border between them and another land, and they find this horrible situation with the dead, and they're attacked and they lose people, and then they are trying to figure out what's going on. And then you've got people in a city, a port city, who are facing this terrible disease that seems to be maybe related, not sure. So it's a lot of different characters and very much woven together throughout this story to give you a sense of the people and the life and what's going on. Except that last bit, honestly, I have no idea what's going on. This book ends on the most frustrating cliffhanger, and it is obviously, the first in the series, so cliffhangers are expected, but come on, you have to give me something here, because now I have to know what's going on, and I don't know what's going on, and it's not helpful. Anyways, so this book is very well written. It is very consistent in its language. The people use a very consistent way of speaking that is in line with the culture that is being portrayed here. I like that quite a lot. It is very cool to see them in the face of this terrible, terrible event, and they're still speaking in a way that you would expect of the time. I know that it can be very difficult where people who are writing emotional scenes will just slip into language that is expected, or that is common for modern times because they are more familiar with that. But this was very consistent, and the narration, apart from the dialogue, was teasing and was very well written and enough to give you a sense of what's going on without overwhelming you, but it also didn't leave out the important bits so you are feeling a little lost. This was very much create the imagery yourself. Here's a general guideline, but you are smart enough to figure it out, and if you can't figure it out, then there's probably a good reason why. This novel felt like more than just your average zombie apocalypse where, oh no, the dead have risen again and we're all gonna die. This had purpose and a lot of questions, and it was very much, I don't know, it felt more like a mystery than it did a true end of the world, we're all going to die, we're being cursed by the gods sort of a thing, and I liked that a lot. I think my favorite character is definitely Bjorn, because he's sort of the first to really interact with this idea without it actually being... Okay, so Bjorn is off and he doesn't actually see the dead rise, he just gets attacked by these cannibals. And I feel like that is really important to the story, but I don't know why. And I really want to know more about him and why he's out hunting in the wilderness alone and what he's going to do to solve this problem, because I feel like it's terribly important. And I don't know enough to actually solve the mystery. So yeah, I need more. And I really liked that. So I'm definitely following him. I think my least favorite part is probably to do with the college at the beginning, because, okay, first off, the apprentice needs a name. That everyone else seemed to have a name except for this one guy, and I'm not sure why. That's probably another important piece that we would all like to know, please. But as far as the college goes, I'm not quite sure on their motivations. They are absolutely seeking knowledge, and they're performing these rites to prove that there's no such thing as sorcery, or because they want to explore some ancient history. I'm not sure. There's a lot of the motivation for doing it, but there's not so much the why they're doing it or the how they came across it. And these are pieces of information that I should like to know a bit more about before the end of the novel, when we sort of get where things sort of escalate a bit more. I think I'd like to know more about why the college is doing this. Not why they're motivated to go seek out knowledge, because academics and knowledge, that's kind of fairly obvious, but why this particular ritual? Why is it that this one is so important? Because that is a piece of contention at the beginning, and I don't quite understand why. But that being said, I think this book is very well done. It definitely leads you through the story, it pulls you along, and it gives you enough of a mystery to say, book 2 please, pretty please, because that cliffhanger was a bit frustrating. But anyways, so I did like this book quite a lot, and just be aware that you will be clamoring for book 2 as soon as you read this, because honestly, that was just mean. Anyways, if you would like to know more about this book, please do go watch the interview that I did, because Lee Conley talks about this book in detail without giving anything away, naturally, because I wouldn't be so desperate for book 2 now if I had known more. But go to listen to that, hear him talk about this book. I'll put all of his links in the description box below, and I would say go read this book and be prepared, because it's very interesting and it leaves many questions unanswered. So that's all I've got for you today. I hope you read it, I hope you enjoy it, and if you're interested in seeing the dead walking again, give this a shot. That's all I've got for you today, and I will see you next time. Bye.